What I look for in UGC portfolios as someone that has been hiring UGC creators for over 8 years now. Real quick, if you're not familiar with my channel, hi, my name is Kelly. Full-time, I'm a creative director for a top D2C brand. D2C is just a fancy acronym that stands for direct to consumer. I have an extensive agency background where I've worked with well over 500 plus direct to consumer brands over the past near decade. I made this channel along with my TikTok to help reset expectations and train the next wave of UGC creators that are looking to build a firm foundation. As most of you know, UGC has taken social media by storm, and there is a lot of overpromising, under-delivering, and blatant misinformation being shared about this creative strategy that direct response marketers have been using for years. As someone that comes from the digital marketing side, where we hire UGC creators to create advertisements to launch as ads, the main goal when hiring these creators is to create as many conversions as possible. Because at the end of the day, the brand is not only investing money into the creators, say they pay a creator $500 for a UGC concept, they not only want to make that money back, but they're also going to pour hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of ad spend into that concept. So they're not only looking for a return on investment for that $500 that they invested into that creator, but they are also looking for a return on ad spend, which is actually an acronym. It's ROAS, return on ad spend. So today I'm actually going to do an overview of things that I look for when I review UGC portfolios. I get anywhere from 50 to 75 email pitches a week at my full-time job, so I'm constantly reviewing portfolios on a regular basis. I would almost argue that I review hundreds, if not thousands, of portfolios a quarter. And even before being a creative director at this direct-to-consumer brand, I have been hiring creative contractors for most of my career, so I'm very familiar with reviewing and auditing portfolios, to say the least. All right, so without further ado, let's dive in. So the first thing you should have in your portfolio is a photo of yourself paired with your name and a subtitle that emphasizes the things that you specialize in. This is definitely going to be the hook of your portfolio, so what I recommend is to choose a photo that represents your personality and overall brand. You're going to want to feature your name and where you're located, as well as a subtitle that emphasizes, again, what you specialize in. For me, it would be Kelly R., Bend, Oregon, UGC creator, creative strategist, and direct response video editor, followed by your About Me section. Now, whenever I do one-on-one coaching calls with my students, I always like to emphasize when they're building their portfolio to think about the things that make them unique. The same way you would want to market your clients, you want to make sure you're marketing yourself. And by that, I mean, what are your unique selling points that set you apart from the other creators out there? A personal example is the company I work at full-time as a health and wellness brand. When it comes to UGC, I want to feature creators of all walks of life. That said, who better to feature in a UGC campaign than either a personal trainer, nutritionist, or certified dietitian? Depending on your educational accomplishments or certifications, you could actually hold authority in a space that would actually benefit you as a UGC creator, but also benefit the brand looking to hire creators. All right, so we talked about educational accomplishments, certifications, and career accomplishments. Another question I like to ask my students when we're discussing the About Me section and how they should draft it and what to include is, do you have any applicable marketing, social media, or content creation experience? And then lastly, other details I like to ask is, do you have any kids? Do you have any pets? What are your passions and hobbies? It's easy to say, well, there's nothing unique about me or nothing special about me. I've gotten that response quite a few times, but honestly, think about the things that just make you unique compared to your friend group, compared to your family, compared to other creators, and be sure to include those unique selling points that set you apart from other creators. That way then, when I'm reviewing your portfolio, I can see what makes you special and makes you unique. All right, so we already went over the title, About Me section, and now we're gonna talk about social proof and or case studies. Now, obviously, if you're a new creator, you're not gonna be able to feature case studies or possibly even social proof in general, but just keep this in mind as you start to work with clients. Now, for those that have been working with clients and are able to either get social proof or case studies, keep listening. So when I say social proof, I'm referring to a 5-star review from a client. If you're early on and you haven't yet had a UGC concept pop off for a client, a 5-star review might be where you have to start, which is totally okay. Now, the 5-star review could include overall professionalism, how you were able to stick to the brand's guidelines if they were super strict, how quick of a turnaround you were able to do, or any expertise you might have that the client really appreciated. And that can really just be as simple as the client saying, I worked with Kelly on the first project, and not only did it perform really well, but her overall professionalism was unlike any other creator we've ever worked with. We really appreciated her creative strategy and the amount of time it took for her to prepare the pre-production steps before even clicking record on her first UGC concept. Based on this experience and it being only the first project, we could not highly recommend Kelly more. Any brand would be lucky to work with her. All right, and outside of getting a 5-star review, you're going to want to start building your case studies. This is something that I really dedicated time to in 2021 and 2022, and honestly, I would say that this has helped me not only attract clients, but secure them. Case studies are essentially a proof of concept showing that you create performance for your clients with the UGC that you create. So just think about an ad that you've done in the past or an organic post that has done really well in the past that you can ask that client for specific KPIs, which is really just a fancy acronym that stands for key performance indicators, to be able to feature in your portfolio. Specifically, clients that are looking to hire UGC creators for ads, they are looking for return on ad spend, which is ROAS, but they also want to see how thumb stopping your UGC is. And thumb stop rate really just means, say I'm scrolling through TikTok, how attractive is your ad to me that it grabs my attention, stops me from swiping, and enables me to watch that video, as well as click-through rate, which is CTR. How well did your UGC concept do to be able to sell me on the fact to be so interested in that product that I click the link to go to the landing page? Now, whether the customer purchases the product or not, that's not necessarily up to you. Your job as a UGC creator creating ads for brands is to be able to create UGC content that is so attractive to the audience that they not only stop scrolling, they watch the video, they click the link to go to the landing page. Now, if you're interested in learning more about case studies, I actually came out with a previous newsletter in my Substack where I discuss case studies, and I actually share an example of my personal case studies. And then outside of that, I also have a UGC starter bundle in my Stan store, which I'll link down below in the description. It comes with a ton of resources, one of them being an outline of how you should be doing those case studies. All right, so main takeaway for social proofing case studies is you just want to be able to show a potential client that you are not only professional, but you are also a capable creative. And again, specifically as someone that is reviewing portfolios for UGC to be launched as an ad, is I want to see case studies that show that you offer return on ad spend. Because again, I'm not only looking to hire UGC creators, pay their rate, make a return on that initial investment, but also I need to make sure that when that ad is launched, we not only get that initial return, but we also get that return on ad spend for the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars we plan to invest into that ad. All right, the next thing I look for is UGC showcased in your portfolio. First and foremost, I want to know what type of UGC you specialize in, because there's two. Do you create UGC that's direct response driven that will be launched as an advertisement? Or do you create UGC that is meant for social media to be launched on either the brand's TikTok or Instagram account? Now, being that I hire UGC creators primarily for advertisements, I'm not going to focus as much on social media. So if you are a UGC creator that is looking to create social posts for brands, I highly recommend that you follow coaches that discuss this topic. I have in the past hired UGC creators to create TikToks for the brand I work at full time. The creators that I'm reviewing portfolios for are UGC creators that create ads. Now, another question I get asked all the time is, well, what if I want to do both? Or what if I already do both? What if I create UGC for ads, but also for organic posts for the brand to post on their TikTok or Instagram? You're just going to want to create two sections. One is going to be labeled paid ads, and then the other one can be labeled organic social posts or something of that nature. So specifically for me, when I'm reviewing a UGC creator's portfolio to hire them to create UGC for ads, I'm looking for two different things. I want to see the variety of products and verticals that you've worked with. Is it just women's beauty and skincare, or do you also work with health and wellness brands, clothing brands, tech products, etc.? And then outside of seeing what product verticals you've either worked with or have featured in your portfolio, I want to see what types of creative styles you have featured in your portfolio. Do you have a UGC example that showcases a product demo or ease of use? Do you have a concept that represents lifestyle or a trend? Do you have an unboxing or first impression concept, as well as a testimonial or product review? And what I just listed off were the four main pillars of UGC creative concepts. But the next thing I'm looking for is, did you put a creative spin on those four pillars? One of the biggest pieces of advice that I give my one-on-one coaching students, as well as also my community on TikTok, is that when I'm reviewing your UGC concept specifically made for advertisements, is I want to see the perfect balance of you leveraging the direct response formula, which is something I'm going to get to next, paired with the even balance of leveraging a social trend that is native to the platform. And of course, I want to make sure that the brand and product integrity is upheld, mainly just making sure that the product and overall brand look and feel is congruent to the brand guidelines. And by social trends right now, I mean, get ready with me, a day in the life, using the green screen effect on TikTok, etc. Really, what right now is trending on social media that you can put a creative spin on and turn that trend into an ad. And then outside of that, when I am reviewing your UGC work specifically for paid ads, I want to make sure that it is leveraging the direct response formula, because that is an industry best practice. I talked about this in my first video, but very quickly, in the first 2 to 3 seconds, it needs to have a hook that grabs the viewer's attention and essentially gives them a reason to stop scrolling on social media to actually watch the ad, followed by a problem and then a solution, because any product or service in existence in today's world, it was created to help resolve some sort of problem or pain point, followed by unique selling points, what sets this product apart from the rest of their competitors, Creators. There are a million and one beauty brands out there, but what makes this beauty brand specifically unique? Followed by additional social proof, something as simple as, not to mention this brand has over 100,000 verified 5-star reviews. That many people can't be wrong. Or if they've been featured in publications, or they have celebrity endorsements or investors, etc. And then of course you're going to want to have a CTA, which is an acronym that stands for call to action. Something as simple as shop now, grab yours today, get 20% off with new 20. And I want to emphasize that you don't have to follow this formula to a T. You can rearrange it in a million and one ways, and that is something that is important to make sure that you do understand when creating these concepts, as you're not following this formula in order to a T every single time. Sometimes the problem solution can actually be the hook or even the CTA. And of course you can rearrange and make social proof the second in order or the third in order. It really just depends on the concept you're creating and what is most applicable at the time, along with the overall creative strategy during that project. All right, so when it comes to your starting rates and services section, I'm looking for a few things. What are your starting rates? Which, if you aren't already featuring your starting rates, I highly recommend you do so. You're essentially leaving money on the table if you do flat rates. I talk about this a little in my first video, but I've also done a very in-depth newsletter where I discuss this exact topic. I give the first-hand example with just one of my clients where I actually made an extra $7,000, whereas had I done flat rates, I would have been $7,000 short in 2023 with just one of my clients. I know there's a whole discussion in the UGC community about whether you should feature flat rates, starting rates, or don't feature rates at all. My recommendation is to feature rates, but to make sure that they're starting rates. That way then, for one, the brand knows whether or not you're in their budget, but two, as someone that doesn't know the SOW, the scope of work, you're going to want to make sure to protect your time by offering starting rates, because depending on the creative request from the client, it could actually be way more work for you for way too little of money. And then as far as services you offer, I want to know what you offer as a creator. Do you just do UGC for paid ads? Do you also do UGC for organic posts? Do you offer UGC photos that we can use for social media or marketing? Do you offer allow listing on Meta or Spark ads on TikTok? Do you offer supplemental creative strategy or video editing support, etc.? My biggest piece of advice as someone, again, that is on the creator side, but also the brand side, again, feature your starting rates to protect your time and overall value, and also offer a variety of services because you could be leaving money on the table. Now, the next thing I'm about to say can be kind of controversial, but hear me out. I'm of the belief that you should not include why UGC in your portfolio. And if you really want to, you can add it in at the end, but it is arguably the least important feature in your portfolio. And here's why. If you are reaching out to the right point of contact, they already know what UGC is because we've been using UGC for marketing and branding initiatives for literally years. I've heard UGC creators say, well, you know, I messaged a brand over Instagram and they sent me an affiliate link, so clearly they don't know what UGC is. Again, you have to make sure that you're reaching out to the right point of contact because, believe it or not, you're not talking to the person that is likely to know what UGC is. You're talking to the social media manager who may or may not know what this marketing tactic is. Obviously, some social media managers do know what UGC is, but the only time you're ever going to get an affiliate link is from someone that doesn't know what UGC is and likely doesn't come from marketing. Marketing professionals already know what UGC is. We've literally been using user-generated content, again, as a creative strategy for years. The only exception I will say is that if you are a UGC creator looking to work with local small businesses, you should include this because they're not marketing professionals and they're likely mom and pop shops. And then outside of that, as a UGC creator, you want to make sure that you have a CTA at the end of your portfolio. That way then I know how I should reach out to you and contact you. Something as simple as, let's work together, here's my email, or please submit an inquiry and I will be in touch. All right, that's my second YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If you could please take out time to like and comment on this video, letting me know any feedback, I would really appreciate it. Outside of that, I'm actually launching my 70+ page portfolio guide this coming week, and in honor of the launch of this highly requested resource, I will be giving away 3 portfolio guides before I offer them in my Stan store. All you have to do is like and comment on this YouTube video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on my post notifications. The winner will be announced a week from today, which is next Sunday, February 11th. This guide was created to help new UGC creators who have no idea how or where to start when it comes to their UGC journey, as well as it's meant to help take current UGC creators, regardless of their experience, to the next level by upgrading their portfolio from someone that, again, comes from the creator side and the brand side. Thanks again for watching. I can't wait to announce the winners next week, and as always, I wish you the best of luck on your UGC journey. Continue to use me as a resource. I'm here to help.